Hi, I'm Michael Messing, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Fulaim D31 Professional Microphone System. Now, I am a big fan of Fulaim. I have a couple of their mics, and they have provided this system for me to review. Now, before I go into my review, let me give you a little bit of my history. I am a professional magician and have been so since the middle 80s, so I've been at it a long time, and I'm also a professional photographer. As a professional magician, I have been using wireless microphone systems for more than 40 years, starting with an inexpensive Samson mic, all the way through using Shure, and my performing mic of choice is Sennheiser these days. As a photographer and a videographer, I record presentations typically. My own shows, as well as other presentations like at a photography club. We have a speaker monthly and I usually record those presentations. I've been using the X5 system very successfully for that for a number of years, as well as the F1000 system. They're both very convenient, but they're not quite the same as the D31 Pro. Let me go ahead and show you what you get when you get the D31 Pro. Okay, so the Fulaim D31 Pro comes with its own case. It's this nice case here. Now, this is a lightweight aluminum case. It's protective, but it's not like a road case. But it does fit everything in it nicely. So let's take a look inside what you get. When you get this, you're going to get, of course, the manual, 2 transmitters, a receiver, 2 antenna, dual diversity. This part is really important. This is the mount to put it onto your camera. You get 2 lavalier microphones, an assortment of cables to connect to whatever you need to connect to, including the XLR cable, which will allow you to connect it to professional cameras or audio systems. I actually have used this as a live performance mic. Now the case is very nice. I appreciate it. It's protective. Like I said, it's lightweight. It's not going to take a big beating, but it'll protect your equipment for the most part. The only thing that I don't particularly like about it is that if you mount this to the receiver so that you can have it on your camera, it will no longer fit in the slot intended for the receiver in here. So you have to take it off each time if you want to keep it in this case. Would have been nice if it would fit in there with it, since most of the time when you're going to be recording to a camera and you are going to use that mount. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of its uses. Okay, that was a look at what you get with the D31 Professional. Now, as I mentioned in going through what they supply the XLR adapter as well. And so I actually did use this microphone system as a wireless microphone for one of my shows. I wasn't recording, I was actually just going right into the PA system. Now, I didn't use the lavalier mic that came with it because I use what's called an ear set or headset mic. It's one of those tiny beige colored microphones that you barely can see. It worked perfectly for that. So let's talk about some of the features that make this a professional, because it is a more expensive set than the other 2 that Fulaim put out. First of all, these transmitters and receivers are really well built. These are all metal. Even my Sennheiser system, which runs somewhere around $700 to $800, which is a similar system, the transmitter and receiver is not all metal. Parts of it are, but there's like the doors plastic and stuff. This one's all metal. It's very solid. Also, this has 20 UHF channels, whereas the Fulaim X5 and F1000 use 2.4 gigahertz band. So having 20 UHF channels gives you opportunities to find different settings to make it work. Now, when using it, I did do a couple of things to test. One of the things I did now, I have recorded 2 of my performances, and I'm going to put a clip on here, little explanation about those performances. Those are library shows. I'm a family performer, and in the summer I perform for library shows. They're primarily a kids audience. One of the performances, the first one I'm going to do, is a clip with a very small group. Only 3 youngsters showed up with some parents, so it was a little bit quieter. And then the next clip I'm going to show you is in front of a large group of over 100 people. And one of the things that I really was impressed with, and you'll notice when you watch that clip that I'll show in a moment, is that you can hear my audience even though I don't have them mic'd. The lavalier mic is picking them up. This is a pretty nice little mic. You know, considering that it comes with 2 lavalier mics, it's very impressive. I do have a couple of lavalier mics that cost more, but I mean, they're about $80 mics, and I tried them out. A little bit cleaner sound, but nothing significant. So I'm kind of impressed with what you get with this. Unless you're super, super picky, you're probably not going to notice. So let me go ahead and go to those clips right now, and we'll show you how they sound when they recorded. So I got a question. You guys like pizza? I love pizza. There's only one problem. I don't always have time to stop and get a pizza. And that kind of disappointed me. And then I came up with an idea. What if I could just, by magic, have pizza anytime I want? Sound good? You want to see how it works? All right, I need to get a couple things from back here. Oh. Let's see here. That right there. Let's see, and I need this right here. You know what this is? It's a magic pizza oven. It lets me cook not just one, but actually 2 pizzas at exactly the same time. You know what makes it magic? You don't need batteries. You don't need electricity. You don't even need real pizza stuff. You guys know what it usually takes to make a pizza? What's this crust stuff called before you heat it up? Dough, exactly. Red stuff, sauce. Then you got the chewy stuff that we all love. That's your cheese. And then your favorite toppings. Not with a magic pizza oven. You only need one of these. Plastic pizza. Pretty cool idea, huh? You want to see how it works? All right, so I put it right here. And when I count to 3, you guys count with me, all right? We're going to make this pizza ready. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Check it out. And where'd it go? Did you see where the pizza went? Where is it? On this side here? Okay, let me check. No, I don't see it over there. It's on this side over here, but I just looked over here. There was nothing over here. No, see, there's nothing over there. I just looked over there. There's nothing over there. All right. Both doors at the same time? Like this? Then what?
The pizza disappeared.
Who took my pizza? You guys are pretty tricky. I better keep an eye out on you. Oh well. So much for having a pizza today, but anyway. What are you laughing at? What's so funny?
Behind you.
What? Who put that there? You guys really are sneaky. I better keep my eye out on you. I guess that means that's the end of that trick. But I have another one.
Yay!
Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and go to the second one. This is the one where I had the much larger audience, and my sound was adjusted a little bit better. In my first recording, I didn't notice that it was clipping just the slightest bit. That's one of the disadvantages of recording my own performances. I'm not there to monitor my own sound. So here's one where the audio is a little bit better and I have a large audience. One of these is going to become a secret, one isn't. The yellow one is the one that is not the secret. The blue one is the one that I'm going to turn into a secret. If you were to do this at home, you go into your bedroom where no one can see you, because you're going to hide the blue handkerchief from everybody else, just like this. You see, you tuck it inside your fist a little bit at a time. Since nobody's there when you're doing this, they don't know that you're hiding your blue handkerchief. You get it tucked away, you look in the mirror to see if any of it's peeking out. Do you see any of it peeking out anywhere? Excellent. Make sure it's in there really tight. Then get your yellow one out. Now you're ready to start. You go find your friends, you tell them you're going to do some magic, and you wave the yellow one up and down. Do you know why you wave the yellow one up and down? It's distraction. You don't want them to look over here. Because if they look over here and they see your hands closed in a fist, do you know what they might ask you?
What's in there?
Exactly. And that would be a big problem, wouldn't it? Because if you open up your hand and you show them the blue handkerchief, then you can't do this trick because that's supposed to be a secret. So you take your yellow one, you wave it up and down, and you explain that you're doing magic with it. You tuck it in the top of your fist like this. You wave mysteriously. Now, if you still had your blue one in your hand, you could just reach in there like that and start pulling it out. See, that makes it look like it's changing color, doesn't it? You and I know I have how many handkerchiefs? That's right, there are 2 handkerchiefs. So let's pull the blue a little more. Oh, be careful when you get near the middle. Because if you pull the blue one really hard, it's going to come out. The yellow one's still there. Everybody's going to figure out you have 2 handkerchiefs. So keep that blue one in your hand. Push the yellow one all the way down. Once you get the yellow one completely tucked away, that's when you can pull your blue one out. You wave it up and down like you did your yellow one. If your friends clap, that's when you take your bow, because you made it look like it changed colors by magic. Just remember, there's still one left here. What color's in here? That's right. So don't open up this hand, because if you open it up now, they'll see it. They'll know exactly how you did your trick. That wasn't very fair of me, was it? I did say I was going to explain it. Do you want to know where the yellow one really is? All right, let me show it to you. It's right here in the middle of my blue one. But it's so carefully hidden that you can't see it. In fact, nobody I've ever met has ever been able to find it but me. No, but right there in the middle, that's where I've been hiding that yellow one the whole time. Now there's one you can do. That's the end of that trick. But I have another one. Okay, hope you enjoyed the magic there. So, here's what I like about this system. First of all, like I said, it's very durable. All comes in that nice little case. Sure, it's not a road case, but it's going to protect it, and I have cases for everything, so if it hadn't come with a case, I would have gotten one. It's rechargeable, which is nice. They do hold a good charge. I used the transmitter and receiver for one performance where I used it as for my performing mic, and my performance runs about 45 minutes plus my sound check and everything, so you can count that it was at least an hour. Then I recorded 3 performances. I only showed you clips from 2 of them, but I did record 3 full performances, so each of those would be an hour, and they're still showing about 2/3 or 3/4 of power, so they held up pretty well for that. They do have built-in recording. That is handy. The transmitter, you hold down the set button for 3 seconds and it'll start recording. Where that comes into play, you're recording using wireless. Wireless can get interference. You can get dropouts, you can get noise. If you're recording internally at the same time, if you have any audio issues, any glitches, you just use that. All you have to do is plug the transmitter into your computer after you're done. It recognizes it as a hard drive and you find your audio that's recorded as a waveform. So I did test that out. It works just fine. Other than that, you know, I find this to be a really good microphone system. Is it up to the Sennheiser? Well, the disadvantage to this compared to the Sennheiser, yes, you get 20 channels on this. My Sennheiser has a lot more frequencies you can pick up, but most importantly, it has the ability to scan for open channels. With the Fulaim, you're going to be having to manually determine which is the best frequency to be using. It's not the biggest problem in the world, it's not as convenient, but keep in mind, the Fulaim mic at the time of this recording is $399.99. Sennheiser mics are more than double that. And so, you know, I'm not going to complain about it. And typically, if you're recording, I haven't run into too much interference with any of my Fulaim mic systems. So, I've given you a sample. By the way, the entire time that I have been recording here, I have been on the Fulaim mic. I have the second transmitter that is actually connected to me, and that is the mic. So you're actually hearing what it sounds like. You know, personally, for me, I love this. It's a great build. The rechargeable nature of the transmitter receiver is convenient. You don't have to have AA batteries to put into it. It gives you options to be able to record into a camera, regardless of whether that uses a 3.5 millimeter input or it uses an XLR input if you're using a really professional system, or if you want to use it for a iPhone or a Android phone, you've got adapters for that. I don't remember if it had the lightning adapter, but that's okay. That you can always find an adapter to go from USB-C to lightning if you need to. So this is a very, very versatile system at a very reasonable price. So I think it's a pretty good one. You let me know what you think. Okay, there were a couple things I left out there that I thought I should go ahead and add in. First of all, I did check, and there is a lightning adapter as well as a USB-A adapter, so you can use those with your computer, whether it has USB-A or USB-C, and you can also record into both iPhone and Android because they do provide everything you need. Fulaim takes care of all that. The one thing I didn't discuss in there, and that's because for me it's not the biggest factor in the world, is I didn't discuss the distance, the range that the transmitter receivers will work. Fulaim says it'll work for about 650 feet. I'm never in a position where I'm going to be that far away from my receiver with the transmitter. Most of my recordings are going to be within 25, 30 feet. So I don't test for that. I do test to see if it will have any problems if I go into a different room or go in my house, go from my office all the way downstairs into my garage, which is actually 2 levels down with doors closed, just to see if there's any interference with that. But I haven't run into any problems with it. It worked perfectly. I have seen a couple of other video reviews where people have tested the distance and they've gotten quite a bit of distance out there. I saw one that went at least 250, 300 feet and had no dropouts even when he turned his back to it. That is one real plus to this over some of the 2.4 gigahertz systems. Some of those, if you turn your back at a distance and aren't facing the receiver, there will be dropouts. But this one, there was no difference at that distance in the recording I watched. Again, that's not me, that was somebody else. But that isn't a big issue for me, so I don't worry about that. It worked perfectly in my circumstance, and I get plenty of range for what I need. Hope that helps.